Adolf Hitler is one of the most famous and controversial leaders in history. He was responsible for World War II, and his actions led to the death of millions of people. But how did he rise to power? What made him so influential? And how did his life end? Today, we will take a deep look at Hitler's life, from his childhood to his rise to power, and finally, his downfall. We will explain everything in a simple and interesting way so that you can learn English while also learning history. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Hitler's childhood, 1889 to 1903. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in a small town called Braunau am Inn in Austria. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict and serious man. He worked as a government officer and wanted Adolf to have a good job in the government. Hitler's mother, Clara Hitler, was a kind and caring woman. She loved Adolf very much and always supported him. As a child, Hitler was not very special. He was not the best student in school, and he often got into trouble with teachers. However, he had one big passion: art. He loved to draw and paint. Hitler's dream of becoming an artist. When Hitler was a teenager, he had one big dream. He wanted to become a famous artist. He loved painting buildings, landscapes, and people. He wanted to study at the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna, the capital of Austria. However, his father did not agree. His father wanted him to work in the government, just like him. This made young Hitler angry and unhappy. One day, Hitler's father suddenly died. Now, he was free to follow his dream. He decided to move to Vienna and become an artist. Chapter 2. The Struggles in Vienna, 1907 to 1913. Hitler was very excited when he arrived in Vienna. He took the entrance exam for the Academy of Fine Arts. He was sure he would pass. But something terrible happened. He failed. The teachers told him that his paintings were not good enough. They said he was good at drawing buildings, but he was not good at drawing people. This was a big shock for Hitler, but he did not give up. He tried again the next year, and once again, he failed. Life as a homeless man. Now Hitler had no money. He had no place to live. He became homeless and had to sleep in cheap shelters. He survived by selling small paintings on the street. During this time, he started developing strong political opinions. He began to blame others for his problems, especially certain groups of people. This was the beginning of his extreme beliefs. Chapter 3. Hitler becomes a soldier, 1914 to 1918. In 1914, something happened that changed Hitler's life. World War I began. Germany and Austria were fighting against countries like Britain, France, and Russia. Hitler saw this as an opportunity. He decided to join the German army and become a soldier. Hitler's experience in the war. Hitler was very brave in battle. He was a messenger, which meant he had to carry important messages between soldiers, even under heavy fire. During the war, he was injured by a bomb, but he survived. He also won a medal for bravery. However, in 1918, the war ended, and Germany lost. The end of the war and Hitler's angered Germany had to sign a treaty called the Treaty of Versailles. This treaty said that Germany had to pay a lot of money to other countries. Germany had to reduce its army. Germany had to accept full blame for the war. Hitler, like many Germans, was very angry about this. He believed that Germany had been betrayed by its own people. This anger stayed with him for the rest of his life. Chapter 4. Hitler's Rise in Politics, 1919 to 1933. After the war, Hitler had no job. He started attending political meetings. In 1919, he joined a small group called the German Workers' Party. This group later became the Nazi Party. Hitler's power as a speaker. Hitler was very good at speaking. He gave powerful speeches that made people excited and emotional. He told people that Germany could be great again. Slowly, more and more people started following him. Hitler tries to take over Germany. In 1923, Hitler and his followers tried to take over the government in an event called the Beer Hall Putsch. But they failed, and Hitler was arrested. In prison, he wrote a book called Mein Kampf, My Struggle. This book explained his ideas and plans for the future. After 1 year, he was released from prison, and he started rebuilding the Nazi Party. Hitler becomes chancellor. By 1933, the Nazi Party was very powerful. Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany, the most powerful position in the country. However, he did not stop there. He soon made himself the dictator or absolute leader of Germany. Chapter 5. World War II begins, 1939 to 1945. Hitler wanted to make Germany the most powerful country in the world. In 1939, he invaded Poland, and this started World War II. He attacked many countries, including France, Britain, and Russia. His army was very strong, and for a while it seemed like he might win the war. The war turns against Hitler. In 1941, Hitler made a huge mistake. He attacked Russia. But Russia was too big and too strong. The German army could not handle the cold winter and started losing. Later, in 1944, the United States also joined the war against Germany. Now, Hitler was fighting against the whole world. Chapter 6. Hitler's Fall, 1945. By 1945, Hitler knew he was going to lose the war. The Soviet army, from Russia, was getting closer to Berlin, the capital of Germany. On April 30th, 1945, Hitler realized there was no escape. He did not want to be captured, so he decided to end his own life in his underground bunker. A few days later, Germany surrendered, and World War II ended. Conclusion. What can we learn? Hitler's story teaches us many important lessons. 1. Hate and discrimination lead to destruction. 2. Power can be dangerous if used the wrong way. 3. Wars cause pain and suffering for everyone. 4. We must learn from history so that it does not repeat. Hitler's life was full of ambition, war, and destruction. But in the end, his actions led to his own downfall. If you liked this, please subscribe, like, and comment.